Hey everybody, I'm Eric and this is my version of a custom front bumper for a Yamaha G1 golf cart. I'm making a whole custom front body and I wanted the bumper to have more of a modern sports car look to it, and I think I did just a fantastic job of achieving exactly what I was looking for. So probably nothing like you've ever seen anywhere else somebody making. Alright, so if you're interested in this, I'm going to show you. This bumper is very strong, very lightweight, and you could obviously paint it whatever color you actually wanted to. So if you want to know how I made this, I'm going to show you how it comes off in just a minute. But to understand how I made it, I started with some 1/8 inch by 2 inch flat aluminum. Alright, this was my base framework that I made that's underneath all of this, and I hand shaped, after I cut it to length, I hand shaped the arch that I wanted my bumper to have into this piece of aluminum. Okay, I think it's roughly 40 inches long, 42, something like that. Just slightly bigger than the length of my brackets. Okay, if you notice, I'm using the original brackets. Okay, so I've designed this bumper to fit onto those brackets. Once I had my arch designed, I located the holes on those brackets and I drilled holes and then mounted bolts to that 2 inch centerpiece. And I also added some washers behind the nut that I attached to that bolt so that it would space it out far enough. There's a little lip on these brackets. Okay. After I did that, I took 2 lengths of 1.5 inch by 1/8 inch flat aluminum. I shaped that same arch into it again, and I attached them both side by side here, encapsulating my bolt, which gave me this wide of a bumper now. Okay, and I riveted all these things together. The hardest part of this is shaping those curves to be the same on all 3 pieces. All right, once I had those 3 pieces, I could literally mount this to my original brackets, which, in full disclosure, I probably spent several hours in my hydraulic press straightening my original brackets out. They were so bent up and damaged. So even when I'm at the last point, I'm still kind of tweaking my brackets to make sure it doesn't alter the shape that I've put into this bumper. Okay, so once I have this established, I can mount this to those brackets. And then I took a piece of angle iron, 16th inch thick aluminum angle iron by 1 inch, and I cut relief cuts every 2 inches in this angle iron, and that allowed me to shape it in a curvature to match my front aluminum pieces and create a support for my top piece. Okay, took the same type of aluminum, did the exact same process, and made it for the bottom to create a support for my spoiler. I use a 3rd piece of aluminum for the rear that goes all the way across from one side to the other. It creates the rear support for my spoiler. Right? Spoiler can actually be removed. It's actually bolted in place, but really no reason to take it off. And the cover that I've used over that aluminum is a PVC ceiling panel. Okay, this is very flexible stuff, and what's really cool about it is that you can heat it up and you can bend it and you can shape it around the corners. Okay, on those 2.5 inch pieces of aluminum, I actually bent the ends around the corners. You'll see the inside of this in a second. Okay, and I'm actually able to shape this PVC into that form. Okay, I'll show you here. This was my first attempt at trying it, doing with a torch. Got a little too warm. This is all you do. You heat this stuff up. You can bend it and shape it and hold it in place. When you release the heat, it'll stay where you left it. Pretty amazing stuff to work with. Now, the top piece is also made of that CPVC. I bonded both of those pieces to my aluminum with double-sided tape. Okay, this is not coming off. I don't care 100-mile-an-hour winds. Not coming off. That PVC is not coming off of that aluminum. And once I had them bonded together, I took a sanding block and I shaped this bevel all along the whole edge. Okay, this is what looked like a simple bevel, was probably one of the hardest things that I did, was to make this bevel in top of this bumper, just to give it a little character, not to be a squared off look. And once I had that shape, I covered everything in fiberglass cloth, the whole bumper, and also the spoiler, which is actually made out of Luan, 1/4-inch plywood, okay, whatever you want to call it. That's what this is made out of. So it definitely needs to be treated with fiberglass, or it's not going to be weatherproof. And that's what the spoiler itself is made out of, a 1/4-inch. Okay, so what's really cool is how easy this is to get off. I really want to show you this, and then I can show you underneath and make a little more sense about what I'm saying. I did also make about, I think, 4 brackets using some small 1-inch aluminum for supports. You see those? And just 4 nuts hold this whole bumper on, whole assembly, and it weighs 4 pounds. The original bumper weighs around 10. So original bumper parts are obsolete. Yours is probably beat all to hell just like mine is, and that's how easy it is to get this bumper off. Okay, I'm gonna set it on the table here and turn it around so you can see the underneath real well. See what I've made here. And here you can start to see that aluminum structure. Okay, you can see the main 2-inch piece runs all the way along almost to the ends. The 2.5-inch pieces that are riveted to that, and like I said, I've bent the ends around on those. Just put them in a vise and bend these pieces in the shape you want. And then I have these small brackets that I've made out of that 1-inch stuff that I'm using to attach. Here's my outside piece. It holds the back of my spoiler, and I didn't make a full piece in the front. I just made a small piece, but you can see these relief cuts that I put every 2 inches, and some other secondary brackets to hold all this together. The top piece, I can get you a view, goes the whole length. Okay, goes the whole length with relief cuts the whole way. Okay, so this took quite a bit of fabrication. I don't know, it really only took a couple days to actually make the aluminum pieces once I figured out what I was going to do. And it was a good, you know, it's 1 day worth of work doing the fiberglass and letting it dry. And then it's another day of coming back, a couple days basically of coming back and putting a skim coat of Bondo and sanding everything down nice and flat every time, trying to recreate my bevel that I've added here. And lastly, primering it. And it does have some softness to this material even with the fiberglass coating, so I decided to go ahead and just coat it with a bed liner, so give it a little more protection from rocks and sticks, anything else that flies up. But I don't know, I think it's one of the coolest bumpers I've ever seen that I made for myself, and I gotta have about less than $200 in material in this. Okay, so there's no way you can go out and buy an aftermarket bumper and retrofit it to your machine. Just one last thing I want to show you, just in case you noticed when I showed you this. I have actually added some extension, some lowering extension brackets. These are obviously the original brackets your original bumper mounts to, but I've added some scrap 1/4-inch thick plates and some scrap 2-inch square tubing. And now that I've actually lowered my bumpers by 2 inches, and I've extended it outward about almost 3 by doing this. If you do your geometry right, you can stick these brackets right back off, and this will bolt right back in place where it used to be. Okay, and that bumper will fit in either way. All right, that takes a little effort to do, but And I also drilled and tapped these plates, and I have just lock nuts on the outside so I can thread this in. And I did weld this together. I didn't want the bolts, more bolts, and I didn't want 3 sets of bolts holding this together. I really just wanted the one just like original. So it's really super strong. Lift up the whole cart with it. So that's my take on the front bumper. Definitely is probably not for the most novice of person, the most I don't know, you could call it the dangerous part of this is I use the grinder to make all of these cuts with a cutoff wheel. So if you're not comfortable with doing that, making all these pie cuts in this, it definitely is a little danger involved, but hey, I still got all 10. Okay, I didn't lose any making all this stuff. But please be careful. It's one of the most dangerous tools out there. And but no welding is actually required to make this bumper and put it onto your original brackets. That's what's good about it, guys, in case you're not a welder. So hope you like the look of it. I'm really proud and appreciate everybody's time. Thanks for watching.